Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we dig into the dusty corners of corporate filings and find the gems worth talking about, or maybe something a little less shiny. Today we are looking at OneMedNet Corporation and their latest report. You might think this is just another company update, but sometimes even the smallest filings can spill some interesting tea about what is really going on behind the scenes. Let's dive in and see what OneMedNet has been up to. And before we go any further, if you are into getting clear, no-nonsense insights from these massive corporate documents delivered right to you, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Also, if you want to chat with us and other finance enthusiasts, join our Discord community. The link is in the description below. Alright, so what we have here is a Form 8K filing from OneMedNet Corporation. Think of this as a special report that companies have to file when something significant happens that the public investors should know about right away. It is not a regular update like a quarterly report, so whatever is in here is usually something they feel is important enough to share immediately. The report is dated the 17th of December, 2025. This tells us the key events we are about to discuss all happened around this date. It gives us a time frame for the information we are sifting through. The main subject here is OneMedNet Corporation, as you can see from the filing. Now, looking at what the company has registered with the stock market, we see their common stock. This is the basic ownership stake in the company that most people think of when they hear about stock. They also have redeemable warrants. These are like options that give holders the right to buy the company's stock at a specific price within a certain time frame. It's important to note the exercise price for these warrants is $11.5 per share, which is a key detail for anyone holding those. One interesting point right off the bat is that OneMedNet has checked the box indicating they are an emerging growth company. This means they are a relatively newer public company and get to take advantage of some relaxed regulations, especially when it comes to financial reporting. It's a designation that can offer some breathing room. But it also means they might not have the same level of detailed financial history as more established players. The first big chunk of information in this report is about their 2025 annual meeting of stockholders. This is where shareholders get to vote on important company matters. So, what happened at this meeting? It was held virtually, which is pretty common these days. What's really important here is that they had a solid turnout. We're talking about 79.87% of the outstanding shares being represented. That's a good number, showing that investors were engaged and a quorum was present, meaning the votes cast are valid. The first major item on the agenda was the election of new directors. Specifically, 2 Class 2 directors were up for election. These directors are essentially the guardians of the company's direction and strategy, serving on the board to represent shareholder interests. They put forward 2 nominees, Robert Golden and Andrew Seinfeld. For these positions, they asked for votes to elect them for 3-year terms. For Robert Golden, a significant number of votes were cast in favour, over 30 million. The votes to withhold and broken non-votes, which are shares held by brokers that weren't given specific voting instructions, were much lower. And for Andrew Seinfeld, it was a similar story. He also received over 30 million votes in favour, with the withhold and broken non-votes being considerably less. This indicates strong shareholder confidence in the proposed directors. It is good to see these leadership positions being reaffirmed by the stakeholders. Next up, they needed shareholder approval for their choice of independent auditors. This is crucial for trust. Shareholders voted to ratify the appointment of Withum Smith Brown PC, and this proposal passed with an overwhelming majority, nearly 40.7 million votes in favour. That means the shareholders are comfortable with Withum Smith Brown, PC keeping a close eye on the company's financial books. This is a pretty standard but very important part of corporate governance. Now, moving on to another significant event that was reported. This is for other events, which generally means something important happened that doesn't fit into the other specific categories. On the 23rd of December 2025, just a few days after the annual meeting, the board of directors appointed Dr. Kenneth Allain, Hess, joining the compensation committee, which is the group that decides how executives get paid. This is a change from Jer Clark, whose board term ended. Changes in board committees, especially compensation, can sometimes signal shifts in strategy or focus on executive incentives. It is definitely something to keep an eye on to see how it impacts decisions moving forward. Now, let's wrap this up with our take on what this all means. OneMedNet held its annual meeting and shareholders seem to be pretty happy with the slate of directors and the auditor. The election results show strong support for the current leadership, which is generally a positive sign for stability. The appointment of Dr. Allain to the Compensation Committee is a more subtle shift, but changes to how executives are compensated can influence how the company operates and performs. As an emerging growth company, OneMedNet benefits from flexibility, but investors should still watch for how this impacts their financial disclosures and governance as they grow. There aren't any major financial numbers to analyze in this particular filing. It is more about governance and board changes. However, these are the building blocks for future financial success. Functioning board and engaged shareholders are key ingredients for a healthy company. Alright, that is our breakdown of OneMedNet's recent filing. What is your take on these board changes and the shareholder votes? Do they signal more stability or potential shifts ahead? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If this analysis was helpful for you, please give this video a like. It really helps us out, and subscribe for more decoded corporate news. And remember, join our Discord community linked in the description for deeper discussions. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.